5 on Your Side at 10 starts now.
Kids, these are kids that don't have a chance to grow up.
A St. Louis family grieving tonight after a teenager is killed, and they want answers as police continue to search for his killer.
I miss everything about him.
Believe it or not, there was a tornado warning this morning. Then we had wind gusts over 50 miles per hour, and now we're monitoring some areas of snow. I've got your full forecast coming up.
The need is so big that it's overwhelming.
Months after the deadly May 16 tornado, tonight the community introducing new resources to help survivors. Plus a holiday surprise for hundreds of local students.
We want to show them that we love them.
5 on Your Side starts now with a weather impact alert.
It's a cold and breezy night as we give you a live look outside. Today, severe weather caused hundreds of power outages in our area. The cold and a wind advisory has us under a weather impact alert, with some places even seeing some flurries tonight. Thanks for joining us at 10. I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Kelly Jackson. That wind advisory is set to expire in the next few hours. Meteorologist Lance Blockers in for Scott tonight. Lance?
Yeah, Kelly, Mike, I feel like y'all covered everything besides earthquakes right there. I mean, tornadoes,
Don't jinx us.
wind, yeah, exactly. Well, we've got it here on tap for us. It's a complex setup. There's actually a cold front with this batch of activity that moved through this morning that helped prompt that tornado warning. Another cold front back behind it's actually a stronger front. It's already made its way through our region, but the air mass is still squeezing out that last remaining moisture, which is why we've got a few snow flurries falling, especially to the north. Not much of this is going to make it all the way to the ground. Some of it is, though. We've got about a dozen reports of snow being observed in a few locations, again, mainly north of really I-64 at this point. This will continue to slide southeastbound over the next couple of hours and dissipate. Wind gusts, that's our bigger story and our priority right now. We've seen wind gusts over 50 miles per hour at times. Currently still gusting upwards of 40 to 44 miles per hour here in Chesterfield. We'll deal with that through the overnight hours before it relaxes tomorrow morning. A wind advisory remains in effect for us here through midnight. And again, big changes next week. I've got your forecast coming up.
And you can find our weather impact forecast anytime on KSDK.com or just text the word weather to 314-425-5355 for a link. Just 2 hours ago, the City of St. Louis Recovery Office wrapped up its first community meeting and resource fair for tornado victims. 5 on Your Side's Laura Barczewski has new information on the recovery efforts and an inside look at the additional help now available.
It's been 7 months since an EF3 tornado hit St. Louis, causing $1.6 billion in damage, affecting 48,000 residents.
Where we are right now is in the restore phase, where we are really focused on intermediate housing, helping you get your housing shored up and stabilized. We're looking at supporting our community through mental health and other case management or other recovery needs.
Chief Recovery Officer Julian Nix says right now they're actively working to get victims who might still be living in cars or severely damaged homes into housing for the winter.
For eligible people, we're offering hotels and actually helping move them into hotels while we can find them housing assistance. Here they can register for our intermediate housing assistance programs, which can mean rental assistance. It can mean assistance with personal property.
For those who are struggling with utility bills, Heat Up St. Louis just received $250,000 specifically to help tornado victims.
So what we would do is we would help them with their utility bills. They can go to heatupstlouis.org and put tornado victim behind it. We'll follow up. They can go to 1408 North Kings Highway. We're there 5 days a week.
The Boys and Girls Club hosted the meeting and resource fair for tornado victims on Thursday. Their president and CEO Brandon Williams says they've really expanded the way they serve the community.
This could be a decade-long process, and that we need to stay in the fight every single day, every single season, right? That we need to continue to build on top of everything we do, and it's a partnership. It's a community effort.
Reporting in St. Louis, Laura Barczewski, 5 on Your Side.
If you've been affected by the tornado and you think you've applied for every program possible, listen to this. There are some new assistance programs now available through the city. If you weren't able to make it to the resource fair tonight, you can apply for these programs online, or you can call their hotline to get help. That number is 1-833-925-0977. We also have the links you need on KSDK.com.
An individual was identified as Claudio Neves Valenti, date of birth, and he was a 48-year-old man. He was a Brown student. He was a Portuguese national, and his last known address was in Miami, Florida.
A major development tonight in the investigation into a series of deadly shootings that shocked New England this week. Authorities say a person of interest in the killing of 2 Brown University students and an MIT professor has been found dead. Law enforcement officials say the body of the man they were looking for was discovered inside a storage unit in Salem, New Hampshire, Thursday night. Earlier, police had surrounded the storage facility as part of a large-scale search that stretched across several states. Right now, authorities say they are trying to figure out the suspect's motive.
New tonight, we are now learning more about a St. Louis teen shot and killed more than 24 hours ago in South City. Today, the 14-year-old victim's godmother spoke exclusively with 5 on Your Side's Robert Townsend, sharing her grief as police continue their search for the boy's killer. Robert.
Kelly, the family of Samuel Williams Jr., as you can imagine, is experiencing unimaginable heartbreak and sadness. His godmother tells me they cannot believe their young loved one is no longer with them.
Oh, man.
She couldn't stop sobbing, crying, and trembling because she says she and her family are in shock.
Call him Sam.
They cannot believe their 14-year-old Samuel Williams Jr. is suddenly, tragically gone.
He was respectful. He was a good kid. It hurt bad. It does. It hurt really bad because he ain't did nothing to nobody.
She says shortly before 6 Wednesday night, her godson left her South City home and walked to a convenience store around the corner.
No, he was with his brother and a friend. We go to the store all the time.
She says the teens were walking back home near Oregon and Miami Street when gunfire rang out. Neighbors reported hearing more than a dozen gunshots.
She kept hearing all these kids screaming.
Neighbor Monica Vischer says her friend saw Samuel Williams had been shot and ran to help him.
She tried giving him CPR to save him. It was too late.
The 8th grader died at a hospital 1 week before Christmas.
So he liked to play video games, TikTok, football, being with family, just being lovable, just being a kid.
Williams was the 48th young person shot in St. Louis so far this year.
Kids, these are kids that don't have a chance to grow up.
Thursday night, members of the violence intervention group Show Me Peace canvassed the neighborhood where the boy was shot.
Often we're trying to gather information just like we did in this particular case.
What will you miss most about Sam?
Him, his presence, the love he gave me.
Now, in a statement, the Gravois Park Neighborhood Association said in part, quote, "Our deepest condolences and prayers go out to his family, friends, and all those in our South City community affected by this heartbreaking loss." Again, police tonight are still looking for the boy's killer and a bullet-riddled, dark-colored sedan. If you know anything about this case, call St. Louis Police.
Tonight, St. Louis County Executive Sam Page says he doesn't plan to run for re-election in 2027. In a statement about his decision, Page says, quote, "Instead of spending next year campaigning, I'm going to spend my last year in office doing what I've always done, focusing completely on you and the work that matters." Page's announcement came a day before his next court appearance. That's at 1:30 tomorrow afternoon. Page was indicted for allegedly using public funds on flyers about a ballot question. He has pleaded not guilty.
Congratulations to the newest class of the St. Louis County Police Academy. A few hours ago, 30 recruits officially graduated to become police officers. Hundreds of people attended the ceremony for Class 212 at the Merritt's Theater in Fenton. The Police Academy's director says it took a lot of work to get there.
The last 6 months, they've been training really hard for this day to graduate and become police officers. They've done defensive tactics, verbal judo, de-escalation, driver training, defensive tactics, so classroom, constitutional law, statutory law.
Officials say 16 of tonight's graduates will begin their careers in St. Louis County tomorrow, with about 15 weeks of extra training left. Tonight, a Christmas surprise at a St. Louis area elementary school that no one saw coming and students won't soon forget.
Hundreds of kids walked into school expecting a normal day and walked into something much bigger. A special Thursday edition of Making a Difference takes us to High Ridge and a story about what happens when generosity shows up in a big way.
Some surprises don't come quietly. They arrive all at once. At Murphy Elementary School in High Ridge, Missouri, that surprise took over the entire building. Hallways, and especially the gym, transformed from ceiling to floor into a Christmas wonderland. The results of months of planning by teachers, staff, and volunteers, all working together to give their students something unforgettable. Every student from early childhood through 5th grade walking into a moment built just for them.
That we were able to go out and buy each and every one of you a Christmas gift.
And we're not just telling you that we love you, we are showing you that we love you.
Would you help Sama get a TV?
The day was made possible by Ricky Whittington, a St. Louis philanthropist who runs the R. Whittington Foundation, working alongside the school to make sure no child was left out.
We are taking care of over 447 kids. The whole entire school will be blessed with toys today.
He doesn't see it as charity, he sees it as a choice, a chance to turn painful memory into Christmas magic.
I was a kid that never got a Christmas gift. I was a kid that never had a bed. I was a kid that never had a bedroom. I was a kid that slept on the floor.
A childhood without, now fueling a lifetime of giving.
I got some round sound headphones. I got a telescope, a Lego car.
For many of these kids, Christmas would have looked far different if not for this day. And the impact will last long after the wrapping paper is gone.
We wanted our students to feel the magic of Christmas, and we want them to know that they are loved.
A reflection of what happens when generosity meets compassion.
I got a hoverboard because of this wonderful person that made all this for us.
Ricky hopes the message goes beyond toys.
Don't ever give up. Don't ever give up. Someone sees you, someone loves you. So just keep moving forward.
To the students at Murphy Elementary, there were 2 Santas on this day.
He is a blessing to not only Murphy School, but all of St. Louis and the surrounding area.
A Christmas surprise that didn't just arrive all at once. It lingered, reminding every child they matter.
The R. Whittington Foundation helps young people from St. Louis to Chicago overcome obstacles through mentorship, community programs, and scholarships.
We're counting down to the Winter Olympics in Italy next year. Tonight, how this iconic brand is fueling part of the country's legacy and history.
It's a part of our identity.
The strong winds right now are ushering in cold temperatures for tomorrow. Highs in the upper 30s. Then we warm up next week. I've got your full forecast coming up next.
Tonight, we're hearing new reaction from the family members of former NASCAR driver Greg Biffle. A statement released just a few hours ago confirmed Biffle, his wife, 2 kids, his assistant, and 2 others were killed in a plane crash. It happened at the Statesville Regional Airport. That's about 45 miles north of Charlotte. Preliminary flight tracking data from FlightAware shows the private jet took off from the airport, flew just 5 miles, then made a sharp left turn back to the airport. Tomorrow, the NTSB is expected to arrive on scene to lead the investigation.
Well, tonight, a new deal is keeping TikTok alive in the U.S. The company signed an agreement today to sell the U.S. version of the app to a group of American investors. That is according to a memo sent to employees today from the company's CEO. The deal comes about a month before the app was set to be banned due to a federal law. The law required TikTok to separate the U.S. app from its Chinese parent company, ByteDance. The Olympic host country of Italy is known for food, fashion, and fast cars.
Reporter Scott Swan and photojournalist Steve Rhodes show us one of the most iconic car brands in the world.
Ferrari is red. Ferrari is passion. Ferrari is Italy.
When you arrive in Maranello, Italy, the prancing horse is there to greet you. And when you step inside the Ferrari Museum, you're up close with automotive history.
They are masterpieces, and there is no real masterpiece. Each one is a single masterpiece.
Many of these masterpieces are worth millions. Cars that became legendary in F1, sports prototypes, GTs, and road cars, all of them created inside the Ferrari factory.
75 365 GT4 engine block.
We got a sense of the speed while riding in a Ferrari through the hills of Maranello.
Policy acceleration.
Driving a Ferrari is driving a dream, and it's the passion that is behind the cars.
How important is Ferrari to this city?
It's a part of our identity.
The mayor even has a Ferrari in City Hall.
This car is called Maranello.
When Enzo Ferrari chose Maranello for his factory in 1943, he needed workers. So he taught the farmers in this city how to make his car.
They prepared a book and they went to school, they attended the courses. From that moment, the destiny of Maranello changed completely.
Tens of thousands of people race to Maranello for the Ferrari experience.
The nice thing of this museum is there's no barrier absolutely between the car and the visitor.
The dream of an Italian car maker who built legendary cars. Many piloted by championship drivers. I almost lost consciousness. Speed and beauty. The prancing horse is still galloping.
As Enzo Ferrari used to say, which is always the nicest car? It's always the next. Being Italian is being Ferrari.
The opening ceremony for the Milan Cortina Olympics is Friday, February 6th. You can watch it right here on 5 on Your Side.
And just to think that you just sold your Ferrari, didn't you?
Yeah, oh yeah. I sold my Ferrari. Looked more like a Volkswagen Bug, but
Not that there's anything wrong with the Volkswagen.
No, I called it a Ferrari.
Yes. All right, let's check back in with Lance because it's just a mixed bag of everything going on.
Yeah, pretty much. The big story right now, though, that's the wind. So wind gusts upwards of 40 to 45 miles per hour, 44 here in Chesterfield. The peak wind gusts we've seen so far, Calhoun County recorded wind gusts of 53 miles per hour. So still gusty winds out there. I will say the good news is this will die down mainly closer to midnight, but it should weaken overnight as well. So for the next couple of hours, of course, you want to make sure everything's secured outside. Hopefully we've already done that being at this hour. But this wind advisory does stay in effect through midnight. I was checking with the National Weather Service. Looks like they're not going to keep that any longer because it is dissipating back behind this system. The gradient winds, and that's beginning to die down. All right, live radar right now shows just some flurry activity moving in from the northwest to southeast, mainly north of St. Louis. In fact, really across the river into Illinois, probably your better chance to just see flurries. This is not going to have any impacts on the roads, no issues there, but at least it's something to look forward to here tonight because we don't have it anywhere in the forecast over the next 7 days. Tomorrow, though, the cold air lingers, highs in the upper 30s. It's going to be a cold start to the day, too. Wind gusts upwards of 15 to 20 miles per hour. That means that your morning temperatures will feel colder than what they will be. So lows in the mid-20s, feels like temperatures possibly down into the teens. We rebound from that into the low 40s for us here on Sunday, mid-50s for us on Saturday. So kind of a nice weekend, just a little bit chilly on Sunday. Then the warm-up begins into Christmas week. This is the reason why. As we move through the next few days, we see a ridge of high pressure build in from the south. That means temperatures near 70 degrees for a week from today, which is Christmas Day. So it's going to be a rather warm Christmas over really most of next week. And in fact, beyond that mark too, to the end of the month, we could see warmer than average conditions across the region. Here it is again in detail for us. 38 tomorrow, mostly sunny skies though, then mid-50s for us on Saturday, low 40s Sunday. Looking ahead to next week, we don't have any major issues at least, but it'll be warmer with highs again in the upper 60s to lower 70s.
That's crazy for Christmas. All right, Lance, thanks. Frank is next with sports.
Mike, the Blues are trying to make it 2 in a row. The Cardinals got a pitcher, Mizzou lost a quarterback, and we're profiling a former sex symbol basketball star. Stick around.
This 5 on Your Side Sports Report is sponsored by FanDuel Sportsbook. FanDuel is now available in Missouri.
This was a big game for the Note. The Rangers are really good. They have the most road wins in the National Hockey League. You win this one, and it's 2 victories in 48 hours and 4 points. The one thing you don't want to do is to go into overtime because the Blues are incapable of winning in overtime. They are. Jordan Binnington, his first start in a week tonight. And Jonathan Berggren got his first goal as a member of the Blues, and this is pretty nifty on a bad angle. The Blues got him on waivers a few days ago. Binnington was quite good, stopping shots at point-blank range. He had 28 saves on the night. So the game went to overtime. Remember what I told you about that? Well, JT Miller is going to wind up and score. The Rangers win 2-1. The Blues are 0-8 in overtime. So the Cardinals finalized their deal with Dustin May. It's a 1-year contract worth $12.5 million. The mutual option for year 2 is worth $20 million. May's 28, and the good news is he had 123 strikeouts and a career-high 132 innings for the Red Sox and Dodgers. The bad is the earned run average was near 5. He's overcome a torn esophagus and 2 Tommy John surgeries.
You look at all of the ups and downs in what's still a relatively young career, relatively young for a free agent, but also someone who's been in the spotlight. He's been a top prospect in the game. He's started opening day. He's pitched in the World Series. So he has a lot of interesting experiences, and we felt it all came together to a point where we feel like he's ready to take off.
Mizzou quarterback Bo Perbula is taking off. He's entered the portal. He wasn't a great player with 11 touchdowns and 9 picks, but he was athletic. He did play hurt. So why is he leaving? Because he can. Freshman quarterback Matt Zollers will QB the team in the Gator Bowl. The devil himself, Stan Kroenke in Seattle. But here's the genius in the operation, Les Snead, the general manager. What a matchup of 2 teams 11-3 on the season. Let's pick it up in the third quarter. Kenneth Walker will find daylight and run to it. This is a 55-yard jaunt, and the Seahawks take a 14-3 lead. Later, the Rams went up by 16, but Seattle mounts an incredible comeback themselves. Sam Darnold hooks up with A.J. Barner for the touchdown. Right now, the game is tied at 30 in the final minutes. So he came to Shavitz last night with a smile, and despite his team getting beat by 59 points by the Billikens, you can't deny his greatness in the game. With the help of editor Randy Schwenkert, we give you the Reggie Theus story. When he walked onto the court at Shavitz, few probably knew who he was. In fact, some of his own players at Bethune-Cookman probably don't know the full story of Reggie Theus.
I tell them every now and then they have to Google me. When they look at me sideways and I go, just Google me, you'll figure it out.
That's Theus. Back to Theus, he will go all the way in.
In the 70s, Theus was an All-American for the original Running Rebels of UNLV, a team that averaged 110 points a game. Then onto the NBA, where in 13 seasons, this 6'7" all-star guard became one of 5 players in league history with over 19,000 points and 6,000 assists. He was unstoppable.
By Reggie. When you've worked really hard to accomplish something, you deserve an opportunity to showcase yourself. And when you're in that zone and things are clicking, you're reading the defense, you're seeing what's happening before it happens, and the ball and the rim looks like this big. So that's really what it's like.
And what was it like to be Reggie Theus back then when women reportedly would swoon all over him? What's some of the crazy stuff that you had to, that you went through in your NBA career with women?
Yeah, no. Listen, if I told you that, I'd have to kill you. So we're going to leave that one alone.
In addition to being the basketball coach at Bethune-Cookman, Reggie is also the athletic director. And at age 68, he's enjoying the sunset of his life.
You shouldn't want to give back. And like I said, I feel like I'm the blessed one because when you're at a low resource school, you have to really push. And we're building a championship culture.
He is really a good guy, and he should be in the Basketball Hall of Fame, and maybe one day he will.
When I was a sportscaster in Kansas City, a very young man, he was the star player when the Sacramento Kings were the Kansas City Kings. Seems like 20 minutes ago, but it was a long time ago. Thanks, Frank.
It's still easy on the eyes, too. All right, coming up, spreading holiday cheer with one of our community's oldest traditions.
Well, it's that time of year where Santa sightings have become more and more frequent, and tonight St. Nick was spotted in our area.
Yes, hours ago, Maryland Heights Fire Protection District escorted Santa to several neighborhoods, surprising unsuspecting children along the way. It is all a part of the annual Operation Santa Parade. Today's parade rolled through Pinehurst, where families bundled up to meet Santa and share their Christmas wishes. Organizers say this is one of our community's oldest holiday traditions.
And there you have it. 5 on your side at 10. A reminder, we're always streaming on 5+.
Start your day with Today in St. Louis at 5 a.m. Have a great tomorrow.